It's important that we rethink the lessons of mainstream finance, irresponsible lending, predatory practices, and non-transparency. All of this needs to be avoided because it will eventually implode the sector.
I definitely think we're seeing a slowdown in growth in terms of institutions around the world, but then we were experiencing growth that was phenomenal and maybe very challenging from an operational perspective and organizational and training, and to maintain the quality of what was the model of microfinance and yet to grow at hundreds of % a year poses a challenge that any company or any institution would risk their quality on.
West Africa has been more affected by the food crisis and the price raise crisis for commodities than by the financial crisis per se. Many of the small farmers are still in subsistence economy, and well, this is in a way a good thing because then they are less affected by the world crisis. Because their subsistence economy is not that much linked to the whole global economy. But if Africa doesn't want to be marginalized, they cannot stay on subsistence economy forever.
There needs to be greater attention paid to consumer protection built into the way the U.S. financial system is regulated. We want to make sure that people are not becoming over-indebted, are not paying too much for the loans that they're acquiring. But on a more positive note, we want to make sure that families who do acquire financial services understand what it is they're doing.
Investors, for example, need to also have a more long-term view of this industry rather than do short-term transaction maximization. Lenders should use lenders' discipline as a device. They don't have to be on the boards, but each time they're giving a big loan, they need to figure out that it's being used broadly along the right principles. I don't mean moral policing, but I think the sector is still too young for it to die a premature death because some people kind of lose sight of why it was set up in the first place.